Hello, everybody. We have such a special guest on the podcast today. We have Ben from the Dirt Subies Podcast. Say hi, Ben.
What's going on?
And every podcast, right? There's a little bit of like before talk, like off, we just kind of like chat a little bit about, we meet each other and we have a little bit of conversation. And I just had to start recording because Ben just told me he's never played a Call of Duty game. And I'm just like, I can't even fathom how that's possible when he has all gaming stuff on the wall behind him. It is the biggest known, most well-known franchise of all time. I don't even know how you don't know somebody that played Call of Duty and you didn't like accidentally pick up a controller. Like, I need to know before we get into anything super related. I need to just go down this rabbit hole of how this happened.
I think I was in college and poor when that game was big, so I didn't even have time to play video games. It's only been a recent thing that I've gotten back into the stuff that, I was messing around with when I was like, 14. I think that's what it is.
Okay. So timing.
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
First off, when were you in college?
Dude, I don't even know. I started going to college when I was a junior in high school. There was a program where I grew up where you could go to, take college classes.
Like what year are we talking?
That would, man, this is gonna really date me here, but 06, I think. 06. And then I went back and like finished up a business degree in 2013, 2014. I can't remember. I should know this since I did it, but
okay.
But yeah.
Hang on. The dots are connecting. I have to just see here. So, Call of Duty World at War released in 2008.
Okay.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare released in 2007. So you were in school in 2006, right? And how long were you in college for?
Let's see. So the first year I didn't know anything. I was the little skinny junior in high school. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just take classes that fulfill my high school requirements. And so I ended up doing 3 years for my associate's degree. So right around 09 is when I pulled out of there.
So you're telling me you were in college when Call of Duty 4 came out, like one of the biggest game-changing games of like ever. And then you were still in college around other people when World at War came out in 2008. And that one had zombies, which was also like a world-breaking phenomenon. And you didn't just like walk past somebody's room and was like, what's that? Can I play? Like, I'm like,
I was so poor I had to have a job while I was in school to pay for books. You know what I mean? I was trying to get that bread.
Hey, it's funny to me because like normally I wouldn't question it, but you have all gaming stuff behind you. So it's like blowing my mind.
It's all old stuff. I think the newest thing is like an old GameCube there, which came out in like, 03, 04?
Yeah.
But
I have to say,
that's me.
When all of my friends were playing the original Xboxes and stuff, I was a GameCube guy 100%. I played so much GameCube, it's crazy. And so one of my favorite GameCube games is SSX Tricky. And so I just found out that on your computer, this is totally legit legal for anybody questioning anything. I found out that there is a legal emulation program called Xemu. It's XEMU, and you can download it, right? And then what it is it's like a blank like slate kind of thing, and then you have to download and like get everything together to make it into an original Xbox. And so once you have that running, you can play like the original SSX Tricky. But what I found is that there's a whole Discord of people playing Halo 2. And every week they meet up and they get like 100 people online to play Halo 2.
That's sick.
So like that's where I'm at right now. It's like I'm reverting back into like old stuff because I'm just like, I don't know. My opinion is, I know we're going like way off Subaru stuff, but my opinion is that like with new gaming stuff, it's so hard to get invested because the games are so in depth. They're so like there's just so much to do. And like for me, somebody who only has a couple hours to play a video game, like I can't invest that much because when I come back to it a week later, I don't even remember what I was doing. I'm like so lost. I'm like, you know? And it's so annoying because, like, as somebody who grew up, like, reading all the Game Informers and keeping up to date on what the new games were, it's like, now it's like you can't keep up to date on anything because it's like there's 900 games releasing every day and, like, 50% of them are junk. So, like, it's like, how do you know what's good and what's not? Like, it's just like but yeah, the Call of Duty thing just threw me. I had to just address that because I just like dude, that's like saying, like, I've never heard of Harry Potter before. Like, I feel like that's, like, in my head, I'm like, "How's that even possible?" Like, you know?
I think
Yeah.
what Ben reminds me of a lot is, bringing things back to automotive is, there was a point in, let's call it the early mid 2000s where, I was in my early prime of buying cars, as a young adolescent. And I was buying all these late 80s, early 90s cars. And all my friends were kind of looking at me like, what are you doing, man? You could get a 2006 Nissan Maxima right now, and this thing makes 300 horsepower, whatever, front wheel drive. I'll never forget those. Side note, those cars were pretty cool. At least the manual 6 speeds.
Yeah.
But I remember like all my friends were like, why are you buying these old 90s Japanese cars? What's your infatuation with them? And I kind of it took me years to kind of articulate it. But looking back, I now know why I bought them and I can articulate it was that I wanted those cars when I was a kid, but I
Gran
was
Turismo, dude.
9 years old. Yeah, I was 9 years old. I couldn't
Yeah.
afford these cars, I was 10 years or younger, or more behind having a driver's license. So I figured, well, wait a minute. Like, I'm now of age to buy a car. Well, these cars are really cheap. And a lot of them, this is the golden era, I call it. You would buy it from a little grandma, and the thing had less than 100,000 miles on it. It was kept in a
Minty.
garage. It was, I'm just going to say it right now, and I can get roasted in the comments. It's okay. But I don't think this generation understands what mint really was, you know?
Not even
Like,
close.
there was a time I bought, and it might not sound special to some, but if you look it up, it was a Toyota Corolla SR5 25th anniversary edition, and SR5 never came as a designation to the United States, but this was available in the United States. Look it up. And I think it was a 95, but it was a Toyota
I know what you're
Corolla.
talking about.
Yes,
Those are sick.
it looked like an AE86. It was an
Yeah.
AE86 chassis,
Yes.
but
Those are
it was
sick.
front wheel drive. It was amazing. I loved this car. And one day I was sitting in traffic waiting for work on my way to work. And I think I was the fifth car, but somebody didn't stop and plowed into the cars. And I was the fifth car from the back. And I wound up literally getting almost tacoed pretty much.
Man.
And unfortunately, I'll never forget, the cops came. I was crying. I was probably like 22 maybe, and I was distraught. I was so upset because this car had less than 100,000 miles, had like 88,000 miles, original owner, Emma, and the cop even asked, like, you need me to call a tow truck? I was like, no, I'm driving the car. The radiator was leaking and everything, but luckily I was a couple blocks from work, so I drove it all the way to work because I was just really just at that point. I went through the emotions of upset to rage, like that was how the transgression went, and I was just infuriated. The cop asked me if the car needed a tow truck. I was like, no, it's my car. It's gonna make it. The little Toyota
Are
that
those
could.
were those the Corollas that had, like, MR2 vibes a little bit? Is
Yes.
that Yes, I know my
It
good
looked
buddy's sister
exactly like
had
an
one.
AE86 for anyone who
Yeah,
wants to know. And you look
but
them up.
just a little newer, right? More modern?
It was a
Yeah.
95, I'm almost positive, but it was a SR5 Corolla. If you look that up, they were only available for literally, I think, 2 years. And it was just kind of a heritage edition. And even like in the interior, there was a placard that said like 25th year anniversary of Toyota. And I was like, my God, like this is cool.
That's sick. I love stuff like
Dave,
that.
you were talking about this generation not knowing what mint is anymore. The problem is that cars today are mint until they get to the dealer, and then they're junk. they go from mint, and then they just junk. They're just like, they fall right off the truck. And they're like, here you go, head gasket's leaking already. Or here you go.
Side note, cash for
Yeah.
clunkers. Don't even get me started. Cash for
Yeah.
clunkers.
Dude,
Oh my God.
we
Like,
lost so many good cars.
like literally like the 2027 model of like the Suburban, it just like shows up at the dealer and then it's like trans problems. And it's like, it's like things.
Immediately.
Oh my God. So let's just reel her back in here. So Ben, I am very happy to have you on.
It's a pleasure.
Raph from the Subi and You podcast was on last week. Or okay, well, timing wise, this isn't going to be last week. But Raph was saying nothing but good things about you, and he told us that we should have you on. And I love that there's so many Subaru podcasts out there, and that everybody's kind of finding their niche, or like with you, like you're kind of in the off road, and I saw some of your content and like I really like kind of what you put out. So, I just kind of want to run through how you got here, how you got into Subaru, what draws you to these cars, and
Why, Ben? Why?
what made you start the podcast?
So the Subaru thing started for me just because of snowboarding. I left a lot of dignity up on Mount Hood, destroyed my body.
Yeah.
That was around that time. That's when gas was super expensive in the, I don't know, 08, 09 era, whenever it was. And I just remember thinking like, wait, I can get 25 miles a gallon and get all-wheel drive? Like, this is sick. So I saved up as much money as I could because, again, I was just a broke little dork, Finally got a 98 Legacy GT sedan in that like dark, it was kind of a weird color shifting paint code. I need to go get another one.
That whole generation was, side note, that whole generation was that all of them changed colors over time.
Yeah.
I just have to say, it doesn't matter which color you bought. They all changed.
Side note, that is the first Subaru that my family ever had.
No kidding.
That was the Subaru that my dad drove. And yeah, I remember being a little kid in that thing, and it was like awesome. I thought it was sick. But yeah.
Dude, I love that car. If they weren't, I just don't care for those dual overhead cam NA EJ 25s. That's the only downside of them. But I need to go get another one, man. It's definitely one of my favorite cars. But yeah, I started, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. And if you've ever been here or seen photos of it, there's places out here that just look like they're out of a movie. And so kind of got into hiking. And once I'd seen everything that had a trail to it, I was like, well, there's got to be other stuff that doesn't have a trail. Yeah. So here I was. I had at this point like a first gen Legacy also. I was driving that thing off, in the rocks and stuff to get to these places because we would look at like topo maps. Be like, oh, that looks like a waterfall could be in there. Let's take the machetes and cut in, see like what we can get into.
Yeah.
So I figured, like, oh, it's about time for me to get a Jeep. And then I thought, no, I'm too poor to buy a Jeep. Let me just lift the Subaru, see if that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I started, this was back in the day of like Naziok. And I remember like looking, the way I figured out how to do it was I started looking through these threads of people saying like, oh, if you want to slam your car, you can run this suspension on your Forester or this suspension on your, so whatever. I thought, well, if I just do it backwards, I bet it'll lift the car. So I cobbled together some Forester suspension, lifted it.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like
I've always said Subarus are like Legos in a way.
Yeah.
You can almost interchange the worst case scenario. Yeah, you want to change the strut out. You have to change the top hat. It's a different dimension, whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay, give me the strut.
Or drill the son of a gun. Yeah, drill it out. Who gives a fudge? Send it home.
Yeah.
There you go. Respect.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I got into the lifting thing. And I mean, this is all the way back in like 2013, 2014. And, if you ask questions about doing this on the forums, people were like, that's God's, like, just nothing but hate,
Yeah.
There was no love in the forums at all. I got roasted.
Listen, we're talking about 2008. That was very real.
Yeah. I mean, it's still real for me.
It was the times.
But yeah, man, I wanted to, like, years later, I wanted to figure out, like, okay, how did websites work, you know, because the job that I had to work on the website for the company and didn't know anything about websites. And so I was like, "Ah, I want to build one just so I know everything, because that's how I think. It's not, well, this is just what you do. It's like, no, 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 I need to know, you know, like what's hosting, what's, you know, what's a registrar, like, how does
Yep.
everything work?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I just built a website and then I thought, well, maybe I should put something on it. And so I thought, you know, I remember when I was trying to lift my Subaru, there was no information on the internet about how to do it right. So I just made a goofy little website, thought, yeah, maybe 5 people will see this.
Nasiok too.
Yeah, 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 dude.
For you.
But yeah, then like I don't even remember the timeline, but I started to look at like the Google Analytics and it just started hockey sticking. I was like, well, yo, what the heck is this? Like, this is crazy. And then, you know, so like every month there was probably like 35,000 page views. And then Google came out with an algorithm update in 2023 and just decimated anybody that wasn't like Time Magazine or Better Homes and Gardens, you know, or unless you were like a car and driver, you were not going to rank on
Yes.
Google
Yes.
overnight. It cut
Unless you paid them.
99%.
Do you pay them
Yeah.
money?
Heck no, dude. I ain't paying Google
Google doesn't.
nothing.
I always say, to your point, Google doesn't give you the most accurate search results anymore. They give you
Yeah.
who pays them the most money.
Yeah, they've kind of, you know, they come out with updates, I'd say more than once a quarter now, but yeah, I kind of came to the realization like, okay, this ship sailed, you know, like Google does not want to show like small content creators. And I was like, well, I still want to put people's stories out there and still give people some ideas on how they can go about doing this so that they don't make all the, you know, expensive mistakes I made. I was like,
Yeah.
I'll just start making YouTube videos and interviewing people who are doing this same thing. And so that's kind of how it turned out. And it's just been so
100%.
much fun. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it, man. Just helping people is kind of my jam, you know?
So so is the website still active?
But yeah, dude, absolutely.
What's the website?
It's just harder to
Just
find.
Lifted Imports. Yeah, no, it's liftedimports.com. Or if you just Google search Lifted Imports, it'll probably show you
Hell
an
yeah.
ad for something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll show you an ad for 5 things first, and then you're on page 2. But you're there, and people should scroll, honestly, shamelessly, scroll to page 2 and find you because you're the real deal, man.
Thank you. I have the same thing that Raph talks about, imposter syndrome, but you know, I guess I just had to get over that.
Yeah. You know, I think it's very real because like, dude, like when you get into something like, what do you know? Right? Like I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
I'm the same way with this. Like, you know, thankfully for me, this just kind of made sense because we have super mechanics. I mean, we have 300,000 people that we manage every day. And like,
yeah. I'm a member.
yeah, and so for you know, for those people, right? For me especially, the people that have been here since the start, like I wanted to consistently give them more. Like I just feel like they've been there since, you know, 10 years ago when I started that page, and they're still helping. And so I feel like I was like, well, because the page has gotten so crazy and there's so much going on in it, I was like, maybe we can pull some of the stuff out of the group and bring it to the podcast and like really like put the limelight on it, you know, and like give people a platform to like bring their stories and from the group or like talk about builds or whatever. So it's been good. I mean, I've wanted to do this for a while. Dave, you know, is a sponsor of the Facebook group and he came on as the co-host and it's been great, man. I feel like yeah, it's tough because like not just like the imposter syndrome, but I feel like Subarus are so niche that like
Yeah, they are.
it's kind of crazy thinking that there's this much content for a car like this for this kind of like brand. Because dude, you look at BMW or Porsche or you look at whatever, like those companies are constantly like building the brand and they're going racing or they're entering F1 or they're doing something crazy, you know, like whereas like Subaru like kind of has always done WRC and rally, but like they've kind of
Grassroots.
they've kind of like pulled away from all the other big stuff out there. And
Yeah.
so like it's very niche in what it is, but like what's crazy is their fan base is so dedicated versus other fan bases where I feel like they're very washy. Like somebody will get out of a Ford tomorrow and buy a Chevy. They don't care. You know, like I feel like with
Yeah.
Subaru, they're like, no, if I don't buy another Subaru, I'm going to break down on the side of the road and I'm going to be screwed. And like, you know, or they just love, you know, what Subaru stands for. So, you know, so timeline wise, when did you start the podcast? How long have you been doing it?
Dude, it's brand new. Last summer, I think. I think is when
Okay.
I started doing it.
Yeah, Dave
Yeah.
and I started this last March. So like we're
Okay.
kind of on the same timeline.
Yeah. Oh
So
no, you guys are more OG. I think I started in like maybe July, something like that.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think
Yeah.
I think I think to be honest, like when you put out a good product, I think it doesn't really matter as long as you can. That's the thing about content now. It's like if you put out a good product and you just continue to do that, the algorithm will push you wherever you need to go. And like that's what Dave and I have found is like as we continue to make episodes and reels and stuff, like we have continued to make them better and better and figure out better ways to edit and better ways to put them out and when to put them out. And as you do that, like it just starts to get better all the way around.
Yeah. You guys are killing it, dude. You guys had Smedia on, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, that was, that again, like that's the imposter syndrome thing for me. This is so funny. Mark from Company 23 knows Smedia. They're like really close. And so they talk like every day. And so I was talking to Smedia and I was like, hey man, like I would love to have you on, whatever, really cool. So he said, cool. He said, let's get on a phone call and like let's just talk before we like do anything. So I was like, all right, cool. So, I had been trying to plan this episode with him for a while, for like a couple weeks. And finally he was like, hey, like, can I call you right now? And I literally had my baby in my hands. I was feeding him and I like called my wife. I was like, you need to come get this baby. I was like, I need like an hour, like just to like have this phone call. So she takes the baby and he calls me and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. I'm like, I've only been doing this for like a year. And I was like, I just like can't even believe like we're talking right now. Like this is like a real thing. And he's like, dude, like I'm just like a dude, like, and I was like, yeah, but you're not though. I was like, this
You're
is
the
like
dude.
you're the dude. So like he just kept talking to me in a way that he was like, yeah, bro, like, things are cool. Like, we should like get on an episode. And I was like, yo, like you're like Smedia though. And he's like, yeah, I know, but like I was like, no, but you don't know. Like this shouldn't be happening. I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me take some beta blockers real quick before we do this.
Yeah, but I think to a certain
so
point, at the end of the day, people are starting to make that shift. We were talking about it today at my shop where we recently picked up a rare car for anyone who may or may not have seen. You have to follow us on social media to see it.
is it
But
a
we were
Baja with canola?
discussing,
Let's
no,
go.
but we've been looking into like what we do with it next, as propositionally, speaking says. And we decided, we're undecided, of course, on that, but we said, wait, this is the current landscape. It's people are tired of like giveaways. People are tired of the same old boilerplate formula. They're tired of content that is, hey, I'm going to buy a Lamborghini, and if I don't make enough content to support this purchase of a Lamborghini, then I'm going to go belly up. Big surprise, The guys that are doing this because they want to do it and they enjoy the platform, whether it be Subaru or a Miata, it doesn't matter. If that's your niche, you're gonna find those people that really understand you and understand the genuineness. We've talked a lot about it with private equity buying companies like Donut, and look at all these people leaving. There's a reason why people have flocked to Tanner, is not because he's some perfect person. It's the opposite. He shows when things don't go wrong. He shows that it takes 6 months to build something or longer. It takes years to build some of these cars. You have to plan. If you're dealing with other logistics, and especially if you're building multiple cars, which only insane people do. But if you're really passionate about this, it's starting to finally, I think, come to a head where people are realizing that the real content, the real people that are invested in doing this and aren't doing it for the monetization is the word.
Yeah, I sure don't make any money.
Yeah,
yeah.
everything be about the monetization. It's about giving back and providing a value. I've long said it. Patrick knows, understandably, something that I'm really keen on with being a small business owner, shop owner particularly, is I employ a lot of, the majority of my employees, let's call it the 90 percentile, are younger than me, because
Yeah.
I'm trying to get young people into this. And I
I love
understand that
that.
comes with
That's
hurdles.
sick.
They're going to make mistakes. They're going to, have to learn things. But you know what? I should be there to teach them. I want to encourage people to get into this space and make mistakes. Because, man, I said it earlier today. I was talking to someone. Some of the best or the most empowering lessons you will ever learn in your life sometimes hurt the most. And that can be financially or with time. It doesn't matter. Putting in the time and realizing that if you're a car enthusiast, man, if you can't show up to the car meet and tell some stories about mistakes that you've made, you're really not going to connect with the people that you want to.
Yeah.
I'll just say
You're
that.
you're doing the Lord's work, man. We need more people in the private auto repair business, man. 100%.
What I want is to just kind of like, in my opinion, I think that when you run a podcast or you do this kind of show, people learn little bits and pieces about you, but I really want people to know who you are. And like, if they come to see your show, I want them to know who the person is that they're watching. So a couple questions I have for you, which there's like 50 here.
Let's go, dude.
So do you make it to any Subaru events, trail runs, meetups? Are you meeting people that come on your podcast in real life? Have you had any run-ins like that?
Oh, absolutely. I go to the OTR, or the Oregon Trail Rally, which is an ARA event.
Okay.
That's probably one of the sickest things that a Subaru fan can do, is go to any ARA event that's close to them. One of the most mind-boggling, like life-changing experiences to smell, exhaust and hear limiter and hear people just pushing a $50,000 base price car to the absolute limit, straight into rocks, boulders, whatever, and get sprayed with gravel. Sickest thing ever. I
100%.
definitely do. Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so much fun. And then you just get to walk around and meet the drivers and the co-drivers and, cause all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Now is that the only ARA event that you've been to, or have you been to others?
I should make it up to the Olympus rally one of these days. It's not a good excuse, but I just feel like I'm always so busy. I'd probably have to drive about 4.5 hours to get up to Olympus. Then I'd have to camp, and I'm unorganized and just all over the place.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that is the only ARA event that I've been able to attend so far. But I think next year, I've got a brother that lives in Prescott, Arizona, and there's I think it's just the Prescott Valley Rally or the Prescott Rally. I can't remember what they call it, but I need to make a trip up there because I got bunches of buddies in Arizona that I have met up with and have done some trails like down the backside of Sedona,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's not far from us. So, hey,
Yeah, are you guys in
shout out.
Arvada? Is that where you
Yeah,
guys
we're
are
in
at?
Colorado. Yeah. Yeah. Arvada,
Okay.
Colorado. Yeah. Hit us up.
The 49% owner of the company I work for, they own a house in Arvada. That's where their main residence
Arizona's
is.
not terribly
Yeah,
far.
I mean, even from where I'm at now, I guess it wouldn't be too bad of a drive.
You gotta ask him if he's looking to invest in local business in Arvada since he has a house there.
Hey, there we go.
Like, hey, I know this shop that's doing really well and they're making billions of dollars.
They just sold a townhouse in Vail, and I won't really disclose exactly what they do, but he is in radiology, and the amount of money he makes in a single year is like more than has ever changed hands with me, even with the purchase of my house. But I don't know what they're doing as far as that stuff goes. I'll let him know. Like, let's get into another business.
Tell him if he's got a Subaru that he can keep it at his Arvada house and it'll be maintenance 24/7. He'll have a full-time
I'm trying
mechanic.
to franchise.
Are you
Yeah.
really? Are you for real doing that?
There's ideas.
Dude, that is sick. And the
Yeah.
name is so gangster. Please get one out here too in Oregon or Washington on the east
You know,
side.
it's funny you say that. Our second state, if we ever did it officially, would
Yes.
be
Ben,
yours.
I don't know
Let's
if you
go.
know this, but the next location is on the Artemis 2 right now, and it's on its way to the moon.
Space Subies. I do
We're
also
taking
go to
over,
the,
man.
yeah, taking over Universal, man. This is a Universal thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, location 3 is in Iran, but
Yeah.
That's
Fuel will
that's
be
to
cheaper.
come. We're working out the logistics thing right now. I don't want to get into logistics, but it's
Gonna have to
It's a
ship all that
tumultuous
stuff to the.
time.
Yeah, I do go to the Overland Expo in Oregon.
Okay.
If I know it's not like a motorsports event specifically, but for those people who might be
There's a lot of
listening,
Subaru
yes,
driven. We're
booth.
going to be,
Yeah,
for anyone who doesn't want or wants to know, unofficially, we'll announce now officially we'll be at Overland Expo, Colorado. So
sick. That's
we're
rad.
going to be there.
Are you
We're
also going to
working
be
out all
at
the details right now with logistics of figuring out like the whole thing. But
Mhm.
yes, we can proudly announce we'll be there for Colorado version. Who knows?
Heck
Maybe
yeah.
we might come out and
Yeah,
make a
come
surprise
on out.
appearance.
Well,
Hang out with you
Dave,
guys.
can you also confirm if you'll be at Rally Colorado?
Yes.
Yes.
That's another thing that's happening. Rally Colorado is going to be a big thing. We're going to be there. We're looking forward to hanging out with Ethan and the gang.
Hell yeah.
Tons of content coming.
Who's
We
Ethan?
promise.
So Ethan Hunter is one of the rally drivers from
What car number do you know?
So it's the really rally team. They have a black and yellow car.
Sick.
So at Snowdrift, they were the one car that flipped. So
Fudge.
So he got this crazy photo of him and his co-driver standing on top of it while it was upside down. But yeah, we've had him on the podcast like 2 or 3 times. He's a really cool dude. You know, he's just got like he raced Pikes Peak and got like 3rd place as a rookie. Like he's just got like crazy
That's
stats.
insane.
So yeah, he's awesome. We've had him on a couple times, which
Heck
has been
yeah.
cool. But yeah, I was asking because also we went to Snowdrift this year, and I'm planning on going to STPR, which is a local PA rally this year for ARA in July. Rally Colorado, I think, is the week before that. But next year, I don't know how much you like the cold, but you're welcome to come out and stay with us and do Snowdrift, you know, to kick off the season in Michigan. So
What months of the year is that?
Oh, Dave, when did we go to Snowdrift? What was that, January? I don't know. Hang on. Real quick, let me just.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you
Nope.
look it up.
Just, this is one of those where like I rapidly flip through my photos
February.
to see. Yeah.
First
Sick.
week in February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
for anyone who wants to know,
February 6th.
Ethan
it was
Hunter
this
is
year.
ARA number 337.
There we go.
I was just looking that up.
Sick.
So yeah, it was February 6th. We basically I drove out on like a Wednesday and we had the Airbnb all the way through that weekend. And then I drove back on Monday. So like
Okay.
I kind of took like almost a full week. But realistically the event is Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mhm.
We just wanted to get out there early to kind of like get a lay of the land and like kind of figure things out because we'd never been.
Yeah.
That was important too, because we made a couple trips to local establishments to get supplies, if you will. Shout out to all local establishments out there.
Yeah. So it was fun though. We had a great time, and
Yeah.
I definitely
Shout out to Tally's for the best burger ever. I'll just say it.
Yep.
I gotta say it again. Best burger in the world. I've never had a burger better. That's the best burger.
Now, yeah, I think if you can make it, that would be sick. But let us know on that.
Now
So,
that I know some people on that side of the lower 48, I might have to
yeah,
clear some time out of the schedule.
hell yeah,
Sorry, not gonna make it to work. I'm sick.
yeah,
You can always meet up with us in Colorado and drive out with us. Just be prepared for 12 miles to the gallon. That's
Yeah.
what we experienced
Oh, dude, that's a killer. What are you taking out there?
on premium. We took our
Dude.
lifted Outback
Okay,
this year.
is it a 3.6?
A lifted Outback, fully loaded, probably 1,000 pounds of gear and people. It was
Yeah.
pretty egregious. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's an H6, so we have to run premium.
Is it the 3.6? The 3.6?
3.0?
Okay, the Easy 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are sick.
It only runs premium. Yep, 12 miles to gallon.
That's brutal.
It was
dude.
bad.
I'm gonna have to pull out a HELOC on the house to
Hey.
drive that.
I always say that's the benefit of a tax write-off.
Hey, there we go.
yeah. Ben, so another question for you: who is a dream guest that you would love to have on your podcast?
Okay, so I would really like to have Bucky Lasek on the show. I know Raf's interviewed him, but I grew up skating. Ultimately, skateboarding is what led me to snowboarding, which is what led me to Subarus. I just think it'd be sick to talk to him and pick his brain, not just about the crazy stuff he does in Subarus, but he's had a crazy career, like in
Yeah.
skateboarding. When he first started, skateboards had no nose and just a tail, and he somehow managed to progress with the sport. And he's still, dude, that guy shreds even today, man. He's a killer.
Yeah.
But that would be a guest that would get me pumped.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, he's such an awesome guy, and I feel like he would be so cool to have on. We were talking to Raf about Travis Pastrana because like
Yeah.
just the stars aligning to have him on episode 199 is like
Yeah.
absolutely bonkers. Like I just can't even like, I don't know. I feel like as like the opportunities open up, I feel like the dream guests get bigger and bigger and people that you would want to have on. Like, dude, there's so many cool people out there that are not only connected to Subaru but connected in automotive. Like,
Hmm.
so yeah, I think Travis would be a really cool one, at least in this space that people know. I think Bucky is like right up there with him. Like they're both like just such well-known cool guys.
They're automotive enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Genuinely, they are.
Yeah.
And not just automotive, but also extreme sports. They're about pushing boundaries. These are the guys that are, no, we don't settle for the status quo.
Yeah.
Somebody I want to have just because would be Bam Margera. He's like on this comeback tour. He's like selling skateboards and stuff now.
Yeah.
Like,
He's clean and sober.
I would love
now.
to.
I've
just
met him
get
in Philly
on.
before.
All right, hit him up. Get him on. Let's go. What are we talking about here?
He's so wild. Like he's lived such a crazy life.
Yeah.
Just absolutely berserk,
Yeah. I mean, dude, he got to spend half his life pranking his parents on TV.
Right.
Amazing.
Poor Phil, dude.
I know. Yeah. That's crazy, man. Yeah. I was thinking too, like, have you had any like hard like interviews or guests?
The hardest thing is if there's a really bad internet connection because
Oh yeah, I know that. Oh boy.
because yeah, when I go back to edit it, I have to cut myself out because it sounds like I'm trying to cut the guest off a bunch when in reality
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, there was just a lag where there's like an
Yeah.
awkward silence while I'm watching their response and listening.
Yeah.
It's usually pretty smooth, but I use Zencaster,
Hmm.
which is actually pretty good. I know it wasn't good in the past, but now it's got a lot of features that I really like. But yeah, that's the hardest thing is dealing with bad
Well,
internet connections.
I originally used Podcastle,
Mhm.
and I had that problem where if people didn't have good enough internet connection, it would like totally be awful.
Yeah.
And like sometimes like when we tried to record the first episode, it didn't record at all. And I had to like it was like a nightmare. So
Yeah.
Dude.
so now we use Riverside, and
Mhm.
Riverside is very poor internet friendly, I've found.
Good.
It uploads pretty much anything from anywhere, which is great. But yeah, man, I find that that's tough. Dave and I did an episode with a guy that was from South Africa who had a
What?
he had a shop in Lesotho, and
Oh my God, amazing
this
episode.
guy we had
Amazing
to do
episode.
a WhatsApp call to get him on, and he actually like WhatsApp like FaceTimed us, and we recorded the whole thing. And funny enough, he just commented on our episode on Spotify today. I responded to him. I was like, dude, we got to get you back on.
Dude, that's so sick. That's super sick.
Yeah. I don't know how he found us, but he was like, yeah, I listen to the podcast. Like I do all Subaru stuff here. Dude, they have a whole off-road Subaru community there.
Mhm.
Like, bro, if you want somebody to come on your podcast, like this guy, he's got photos of the landscape.
Patrick and
like,
I are planning a trip out there. I mean, in the
Yeah.
future.
Sick.
My God, how amazing would it be to go out there?
So
That's awesome.
So what's cool too is that Lesotho, where he's from, it's called I think it's called, I gotta look it up real quick. I made it the episode name. It's called The Kingdom in the Sky because it is the highest altitude in all of South Africa. So it's literally
It's like
not
Denver, but in South Africa.
Lesotho is its like own country. It's not actually South Africa or whatever, like whatever
Okay.
the deal is. It's like, but it's down at the southern tip of Africa, and literally it's just this like plateau, like this big high up like
That's
mountainous
sick.
area, and he's just has his own Subaru business there. He said that they have a dealer there. There's a Subaru dealer in Lesotho.
Really? That's
Yeah,
tight.
like just so crazy.
And he talked about a lot about obviously about how the Subarus just dominate the terrain in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
If it's
Symmetrical
not
all-wheel
steep,
drive,
they do good.
baby.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. That was a cool episode too, because I found like Lesotho people on YouTube that were like singing like local songs, and that's the opening to the episode is them like dancing
Oh,
around and
that's
like
tight.
singing. So it was
Dude,
cool.
it's amazing.
That's
Um,
gangster.
We have to
yeah,
go, Pat. We have to go. It's gonna be an amazing trip. Let's go. We'll
yeah.
live stream almost like the whole like
Yes.
journey. Let's go.
Yeah,
It'll
do
be
it.
amazing.
So far
He's got
that
Subarus. He promised us Subarus when we get there. That's a generous offer. He's like, we got cars when we get there to drive. That's pretty generous.
so you know what has been a wealth of knowledge for me in doing this is my Reddit notifications, because whenever there's a crazy Subaru post, it pops up on my notifications for Reddit, and I end up like messaging those people and they come on the podcast.
Well, that's a good idea. That's cool.
Well, it depends on what it is, because some of them are rough, but
Yeah.
dude, like Dave and I had a guy on that he was at his desk at work and he saw somebody in his Subaru and he was getting robbed. And the guy in the car grabbed the fire extinguisher and shot him in the face with his own fire extinguisher from his
What?
car. And they had this whole struggle and they zip tied him in like a hog tie and everything.
Dude.
And get the cops called. It was the whole thing.
Yeah. So like, I was going to ask you what's like a guest or an episode that surprised you the most. And like, for me, like the Reddit surprises never fail. Like there's always some crazy story on Reddit where like something crazy happens. We just had on the guy who has a K-swapped Subaru, who was just like a random Reddit post
I
that
think
popped up.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
I think.
That the thing is
You know,
pretty
funny-
dope, dude.
funny
It's pretty
enough,
dope.
Reddit is how I had Justin Grimm from Overtake on the podcast. He had posted on Reddit just anybody ask me any questions, and so I messaged him. I said, "Come on the podcast."
Heck yeah. I don't know if I've got any surprising. So I only have 26 episodes. I do it bi-weekly because I'm tired and old.
I don't blame you. It's a lot, dude. Weekly is a lot.
Dude, I don't know how you guys do it, man. And I obviously edit everything because it doesn't pay my bills. So
Yeah,
it's a labor of love. It's a passion project.
yeah. I mean, we've been lucky enough that like the Facebook group is kind of like helping this happen.
That's
so like,
tight.
you know what I mean? But
Yeah. I did have, I had a guy on, my friend Dan. He lives in the Prescott Valley in Arizona. And that dude is probably one of the most interesting people I've ever met or talked to. He's got a 91 Legacy wagon that he straight axle swapped front and rear.
yeah,
It's running
Hell yeah.
37s. Dude, it's running 37s and still EJ powered. And
Yes.
I think he threw a Toyota W50 transmission in it, which I think has typically made it to like a 22 RE. I think. I can't remember
Interesting.
what.
But adapter plate,
Yeah. That's how he did it. Yeah, he just fabbed
Yeah.
up an adapter plate.
wow.
Uh-huh.
But I think he's been wrenching on these cars for like 25 years. And that was a
Cool.
situation where I was like, I don't know anything. Like, here, you just start talking.
Good for him.
Yeah. But he's a really cool dude. And I've actually had him on twice. But he's one of those people where I think as far as surprises go, you realize how cool people are when you get to talk to them. And he's
Mhm.
somebody now where I feel like, if I was going through a rough patch, I could call him and be like, I just need to vent. I had a buddy of mine pass away in October, and Dan called me. He's like, "Hey, just want to check on you, make sure you're doing all right," which I was, but I was like, "Oh
Good
man, I
man.
appreciate that. That's sick." So
Good man.
That's great.
yeah, shout out
That's
to
a good
Dan
man.
Benoit.
Shout out,
You
Dan.
know what? Actually, I think Jay Leno has driven his Legacy. He's got a business partner that lives in Hollywood, I think. And I don't know, I didn't ask, but his business partner is very well off. I don't know what industry he was involved in before retiring, but he has a lot of connections and does a lot of crazy stuff in the car scene there. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Car enthusiasm speaks for itself. When you're a car guy, you know other car guys,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's osmosis, if you're trying to get clicks and views, as they say, cliche, it's one thing, but when you're really trying to build something from passion, it speaks volumes. People understand
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
It seems like obviously you found a niche kind of in the off-road, area. And I feel like RAF has also kind of like fallen into this off-road area because there's just so many overland builds and there's so many people. Like, I just saw
Growing.
the TikTok the other day of the guys driving in their car and they're like, "Where's all the Subarus with all the shit on it?"
On it. Yeah.
And literally I was like, yeah, they're everywhere. Now when I'm on the highway, all I look for is Subarus with all the shit on it, and then they're
Yeah.
everywhere. It's like, I think that, back, I feel like it's 15 years ago, you used to see WRXs everywhere. You used to see cool legacies everywhere. There was just like cool Subarus being made and people were driving them. And then now it feels like the only like fast sports car Subaru that they make is the WRX, and everything else is kind of like an overland build. It's like they're not building it to be a race car anymore. They're building them all to be crossovers or SUVs and like,
And humbly, I don't mean to be like morbid, but they're losing a market share in some sense where you've got, Dodge Demon Hellcats, you can buy that make 1,200 horsepower. You'd
then
have
they
to
get
spend
stolen in 20
exorbitant amounts
minutes.
of money to make a Subaru make that wheel horsepower.
Well,
To be honest,
the
and it's
interesting,
obviously not what we're after, but
yeah. The interesting thing is that Subaru is dabbling with weird things right now, which includes the new STI production, but also like this like totally weird like
Trail Seeker.
Well, not just Trail Seeker, but the BRZ that they're testing for WRC is like super weird. They have an off-road BRZ that's like supercharged or turboed or whatever the deal is. Like, like it's crazy that they're still doing that because like I just don't know what their direction is. It feels like they're kind of lost on what they want. And I think that the whole fan base is kind of lost too. They're like, are we just doing EV now, or are we like still trying to do off-road, or are we still
selling electric off-road? What is that?
Yeah.
I just think the car industry in general, because of the EPA, is in such a weird place. Everybody's got to meet these crazy requirements just to put something on the road.
I will tell you right now, I have worked around the EPA for 10 years as a private investigator, having to deal with all their BS. And my God, do I hate the EPA. If I could defund, dude.
Yes, defund the EPA. Let's go.
That's my new shirt. Defund the EPA. That's it. I'm making a shirt. Defund the EPA. I'm done with them.
I don't take defunding lightly. I don't think that anything should really be defunded, but mofos at EPA need to be defunded. That place needs to be defunded, burned to the ground, because
I'll say it.
I have my whole theory, right, is that the EPA is really good at spending money to keep their jobs. That's what they're good at. They're good at finding things that they think are making a world of a difference in the ozone, in a world of we're saving the oceans with the EPA. It's like,
let's make race cars more environmentally friendly.
That's the whole point.
Shut up. Shut up. I'm sorry.
In my opinion,
shut up. I'll say it.
In my opinion,
now I'm triggered.
The EPA, if I go to the beach and you got a section that's like fenced off for turtles, okay, you're saving the environment. I agree with you, EPA.
Cool.
The fact that my check engine light is on for a small evap leak and I can't pass inspection is a problem. And that EPA is not your deal. I don't care.
Or all the stuff in the diesel world. They make these diesels now that in order to pass EPA requirements, the engines nuke themselves in a decade.
Yes.
It's like, well, what's worse for the environment, you dildo?
And now we can agree on a diesel level, rolling coal is not power.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you're just
rolling
running
coal's not power.
rich, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you want to run clean power diesel, you can do that. You don't have
Yeah.
to roll coal.
Yeah.
I know this. I'm not a diesel
But
guy, but I know
what's
this.
I'll tell you what's funny is that I know some diesel shops and I know some places and like they sell all of the deletes because it's
Yeah.
just for off-road use. They have found ways around it. It's not like the EPA is all they're doing is making everybody's life harder because guess what? They're
Yeah.
going to do it anyway. They're
Yeah.
doing it anyway.
I mean, the government doesn't care to fly ships or fly, vehicles over the ocean on a massive, C-17 or ship stuff over the ocean and burn all types of fuel. But, I have a catless, WRX.
Yeah.
Oh, man, come arrest me now.
Dude.
Yep.
You want to know a good use for the EPA? Why don't you go to Flint, Michigan and figure that stuff out?
Yeah.
Why are you coming after me for my cat in my car? Like, I'm so
Gut 'em like
triggered.
a Resident Evil game, dude.
Only reason why is I call them it's the Karens, because you know what? The Karens see these videos of Prius repellent and rolling coal onto some Prius. Yeah, it's all funny. We all get a laugh. We all laugh emoji it. But guess what? We as car enthusiasts, real enthusiasts, understand that's not efficiency. That's not real, and that's just being an asshole. Simply put,
Well,
there's no other exaggeration for it.
the way I look at the EPA, right, is the way that you look at the police force, right? In a way, I think that the police force wants new chargers, right? How are we going to afford those new chargers? Well, maybe we should get new scanners that we can actually scan people's speed from the back window while we're driving. Then we could pull people over for that. And then maybe we set up speed traps for people and like we spend all this money to do that. And now we're getting all this extra revenue.
Laser
and
jammers.
And now we can go afford our new trucks, right? I think with the EPA, it's like, what is the one thing everyone has? A car. What is the one thing that people don't understand? Cars. Well, what if we just attacked and said how bad cars are and they're ruining the world? What if we just went after cars? And then it was just like,
easy target.
That's the problem is like there's people that everybody has to have a car pretty much, but nobody understands cars.
Everyone has to have a car, but everyone's supposed to ride a bicycle.
I grew up in Portland, man. So
yeah.
And again, I grew up in Philly. I didn't have a car for 9 years because I lived in the inner city of Philadelphia. Having a car made no sense. I could get everywhere on a bicycle that I needed to go.
I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on real quick, and I'm just going to say
I hoped we were going here.
I think Elon Musk is funding the EPA.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked.
I think that he's after all the gasoline and all the diesels, and he wants everything electric, and that's my tinfoil moment.
Everything should be running E85 and getting terrible gas mileage, and then they'll figure it out.
Dude, the thing that I learned from being over in Ireland is that everybody in Ireland loves diesel. Everything was diesel there forever. And now they are cracking down trying to get diesel out of Europe. And they're like, yo, nobody's asking for this.
Yeah.
Nobody, literally nobody. They're like, we love diesel and you guys are removing diesel pumps and you guys are pulling diesel cars out of Europe. And we didn't ask. It didn't ask.
Same thing with natural gas. Oh, it's bad for the environment. Dude, I can heat my house for a fraction of the price. I can run my stove for like, where do you think electricity comes from? You dorks.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, dude, it's just like some of these agencies get a little bit too like they're operating on their own. They're just doing what, like who's controlling these people? Why are they just,
The government just by nature has no option but to just grow. That's just the nature of it, man. It's like, because if,
100%.
it's just like the military, different branches of family in the military. And it's like, oh, we got to use this budget or we won't get it next year. So let's just waste all this stuff. Oh, we need more, We
need car guys in the presidential office. Ben, do I have your vote?
I got you.
I need your
vote.
Dave, do I have your vote? We're
100%.
We're going to the top.
I've never more passionately voted for anything in my life.
Yeah.
But this is the
I'm going to get into office and I'm going to have that
car
thing
guys.
like Trump, right? With like, I'm going to have the little book.
Everyone gets a Ferrari V40. Yes.
And I'm gonna be like,
yes.
See this? I'm gonna be like, cars, right? Cars. And then I'm gonna be like, no, EPA, and I'm gonna sign it and be like,
you just
we're
gotta
good.
promise me you're gonna go to town on the IRS while you're in there.
Dude, when I'm done with them, there will be no IRS. We will be paying taxes directly to the mayor of our town. And
we're really behind. We're understaffed. We're going to be behind on processing your returns. It might take us 6 months, maybe 5 months, maybe 10 years to get your returns back. But the deadline is still there for you to send your submission in. If we see the post stamp is dated behind that, we're going to actually penalize you. Even if it took us 12 years to get to your tax return, we saw it came in 2 weeks late. Penalty.
Dude, I'm trying to go 2012 Ron Paul on the IRS, bro. I hate them, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go Elon Musk and go, you know what? I'm not paying any of it.
Hey,
in my head, like, the math of things just doesn't make sense, right? Like I'm just like, if every company that makes $1 billion just like gave $2 million to the government and just covered the taxes for small business, then like small business would do better and they would buy products from these $1 billion companies.
That would hurt them.
And then it would like benefit them in some kind of way.
I just don't understand.
The problem is everyone wants $12.
I just don't understand how the government does, because if you just break down the gas tax, the fuel tax, it's like, wait a second, how are you not able to run 3 countries on just the fuel tax here?
Yeah.
Where's all the money going? And then you think like every time you sell a car, oops, tax. And that person sold it again. Oops, tax. Like, I would be so rich. Why are there so many
potholes in Denver?
Exactly. We should be driving on gold-plated roads at this point. Like, how are we still driving on some garbage asphalt that's taken 10 years for you to address
Formula One
this
racetracks everywhere I go.
Sticky tarmac and
let's
bumpers. I hate the government. I'm a hardcore libertarian. Get out of my face. Leave me alone. Let me spend my own money. Get out of my business.
Yeah.
We don't get into politics, but we can all agree on we want better roads. Let's go. Yes. We want better roads. Everyone can agree on that. I don't care. Doesn't matter what side, anywhere. Doesn't matter. We all want better roads. We all want better. We're tired. We're tired of it. We're tired of driving on these roads. Our tires, our suspension, our cars up. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to make another shirt. Save the ball joints. Fix our roads. That's another shirt. Save our ball joints. Fix the roads. I'm done with this.
Nuts for ball joints.
Yeah. Let's do it for ball joints. Come on, man. Ball joints matter.
Now, Ben, sorry, Dave. I'm pivoting. What is, in your opinion, the worst off-road mod?
Dude, I should have thought about some questions like this ahead of time because there's so many. Coilovers. I'm just going to say that. I get so pissed off about the coilover thing because every boner in all the groups says the only right way to lift a car is with suspension. Shut up, dude. Like, this is not a body-on-frame car. It makes no difference. It's just going to add, because most people have never set up coilovers. They have no idea what preload is. They don't know. They're going to be out there and they're like, wait, what ride height do I set these at? And then you got to rebuild them every however many thousand a mile. And the average person doesn't need that. You might need it, but that's the one that really bothers me because there's thousands of people out there who want to go off-road and who think they can't afford it because, I don't want to get made fun of on the Lifted Subarus Facebook group because Bob Ferguson just said the only right way to lift my Subaru is with $4,000.
100% agree.
Dude, it grinds my gears. Because again, it's these like old, what's the male version of a Karen? I can't remember, like a Jason or something.
I thought it was Chad. No?
Chad, yeah.
Chad.
Yeah, these guys. Well, Chads are definitely a Chad.
Is it a Kevin?
I guess a Kevin or a Ken, maybe?
Kevin. I think Kevin
sounds right. No offense to the Kevins out there. Well, I get it because they're coming from like Forerunners and Wranglers. In that situation, yeah, absolutely. Why would you not run a suspension lift?
You're right.
Because you have solid axles, but you're IFS and IRS, dude. Like,
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
And none of us are professing to be engineers here, but we understand that, yeah, it's not the same thing. Yeah, 100% agree.
It's funny the thought process that just went through my head with the names, because I was just like, is it a Kyle? And I was like, no, Kyle skateboards and punches monsters. And then I was like, is it Chad? No, not a Chad. Like Chad's like there's just like every name has like a profile in my head of like what it is.
Absolutely. Chad wears Abercrombie stuff. He's never driven a Wrangler.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Kevin? Ooh, Kevin's very opinionated about his Subaru Outback Wilderness Edition, and that he has to have certain things.
Yeah.
It's
Let me tell you about a man named Ashley.
Oh, let's go.
Oh
I ain't paying for this.
God. So I don't think I asked you, what do you drive?
Let's see. I got a 05 Legacy wagon because I'm berserk for wagons. It's a 5-speed. Yeah, dude, it's my jam. It's just like that's just my daily. It's kind of a little clapper. It's NA, so it's not fast, but I don't need it to go fast.
Yeah.
But it's the opposite of what you'd think I drive. It's just on like Fortunato coilovers, which they're good. They work.
The guy who thrashes on coilovers
Right.
running Fortunatos. What? No.
Yeah, but no, just on like some basic stuff. Actually, it's got rod knock. So this isn't quite as cool as the canola oil, but it's had rod knock for like 2 years at this point, and I already have heads, so I don't care if I blow it up.
Hell yeah.
And so I'm just going to see what I can make it do. It's finally gotten to the point where if I'm at idle, it starts to misfire. I'm like, oops, better bump the throttle a little bit.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
But yeah, it's got like 240,000 miles on it. I've got a short block in the garage.
Is it
manual? Yeah, oh heck yeah.
Okay, so yeah. See, if it's manual, it's not a problem. If it's automatic, it's more annoying because you have to put it into neutral to rev it up.
To rev it.
To kind of smooth it out. I already know. You know what I'm talking about. So if you're a manual, you're good. You're good. You're good. It's a manual.
But that's
you get away with so much more of it in a manual.
I love them.
Yeah. Now the just I'll tell you, if you fill it with canola oil, the knock will go away, guaranteed, 100%. I'm telling you.
Due for an oil change, so I'm going to do a canola change this time.
We just passed emissions today. We just passed Colorado.
Did you really?
Which is stricter than California. So anyone who wants to know,
that's so sick.
I just passed with flying colors. We're making a post tomorrow. It's
You're saying the canola Baja passed emissions.
Is clean.
That's so sick.
It's clean. Like
it's eco-friendly, right? It's vegan.
The NOx level is like 0.8 level as like the fail. Ours is 0.0002.
Is it cleaner than regular oil?
I think it is.
My God.
I think it might be. I think we might have figured out how to cheat emissions when everyone's like, can we just run some seafoam through it? Can we run ethanol high E85 in it and make it run pass-through emissions? No, I think we found our solution, Pat. I think it's just run canola oil in it and it'll actually work.
Give us that Wesson.
Yeah.
Hey, that's Crisco brand. Crisco.
Oh, Crisco? That's what it is? Okay.
Crisco.
Yeah.
Crisco.
I'm going to start packing my CV axles with Crisco and see what that does.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We just start anything lubrication on the car is all going to be canola oil.
Yeah. Differentials, Crisco. Yeah, get the Crisco, like the hard pack. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I think
that's what we're gonna do, Pat. We're gonna switch the whole car to Crisco. That's it.
How
Crisco
is
everything?
Crisco not sponsoring an F1 car?
I
need to see that happen.
Well, God damn it, they better sponsor our Baja, man. Just pay for my gas. That's all I want.
Dude,
just pay for the gas. Because
we need to contact them and let them know what's happening. They need to be aware of this situation.
They need to know. They'd be like, wait a minute. You're doing what?
You should.
Yeah.
Hey, so in addition to that, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, just real quick. AJ, we're going to make a clip of this for real.
Let's go. Is that your guys' editor?
Yeah.
You guys are high rolling. I love it.
Yeah.
So I do. That's just my daily driver, but I do have an '06 Forester. Again, it's naturally
Hell yeah.
aspirated. That thing's lifted. That car's been underwater, like it's had water
They
over the
won't die.
roof, dude. Like
Can't die.
craziest thing ever. I sank it in like a small pond on accident, and yeah, water came over not the hood but the roof of the car while we were trying to get me recovered. I was able to shut it off in time, pop the spark plugs out, purge the cylinders, and drove it 2.5 hours back to the house where I
It's fine.
drained it.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, dude, actually, that car runs mint, dude. I mean, it's super clapped, but yeah, it runs every time I get in it. I know it's going to start.
Yeah.
That generation is arguably
So good,
almost bulletproof. You
dude.
know, Like, I always say, just keep oil in it, man. Just keep oil
hmm
in it. That's all. As long as oil's
Yeah.
in the engine, it's fine.
Yeah. Single overhead cam, timing belts are easy to, I mean, I do need to do a timing belt in it, but yeah, thing runs like a, champ.
Now, Ben, seeing that your legacy is blown up,
Yeah. Almost.
if I were to give you a blank check,
Yeah.
what would you build?
So if I had a blank check to build any kind of Subaru, it'd be probably a first gen, like a first gen Legacy. Such a
Mm.
big fan of the EJ22T. Like if I could find one that was not completely mangled, I'd build that thing up with
Listen,
a blank check. Like heck
This
yeah.
is blank check. I'll take you to Japan and we'll find an investor and we'll crack out a 0-mile first gen.
Yeah.
I'll pull
do
it. Yeah.
Yeah. First gen Legacy. There's a
Correction.
there's a
I'm
team.
pulling it, Pat. It's okay. Dave's pulling it. Patrick's filming it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
I'll pull it.
That would be my jam for sure if I had a blank check, especially like if I could modernize it a little bit, keep the creature comforts in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, first gen Legacies. I was on Raph's podcast and I talked about my buddy. His name's Brad. He lives in Vancouver, Washington. This was like way back in the day, like pre 2010, I think. And I bought some parts off of him and didn't realize who he was when I bought him. But his car had been the screensaver on my laptop for like 5 years. I met up with him. I was like, wait, are you this guy? He's like, oh, yeah, that's my other car. But it's a 94 Legacy SS. And he even imported the rear glass with the wiper from Japan.
Gosh.
Like the whole thing is, I think it's still left-hand drive. But yeah, dude, I'm a huge, anything with EJ22 in it, whether it's been swapped into something else or whatever. I think that's such a good platform. It has like,
Same.
doesn't it have like oil squirters in the internals that keep the pistons cool or something like that.
Yeah.
That's
And
sick.
they never had head gasket issues ever.
Nope. Didn't they use a steel, like an MLS gasket in that from the factory? Yeah. What years was it that they used those weird composite gaskets? I know it's not nearly as widespread as everybody thinks, but it was so bad that it
From
earned them that
what I know,
reputation.
At least for the U.S. Market, it was roughly 2000 to 2004.
Well, that's it. Okay.
Like, it was, and the problem is, I say that changes via chassis. So depending on certain chassis, that might extend to 2006. That might be instead of 2000, maybe 2000 to 2002 to 2004.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of overlaps depending on the chassis.
Legacy versus Forester.
Exactly. But that generation, I always say, safe to say, usually if you get to 2005, 6, you're okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny,
As a rule of
because
thumb.
I bought into that whole, head gaskets blow all the time on Subarus, which, I mean, any car will blow head gaskets. It's just part of life.
Yeah.
Look at Honda.
Subarus just survived long enough. Yeah, exactly. But I guess it really was such a bad fumble on their part that even just for a few years.
And you're right. You hit the nail on the head. It was the composite gasket that they used for that generation.
Yeah.
That was, I call it the closest likeness to anyone who wants to know. It's similar to like an exhaust gasket.
Exactly.
From that generation. It was atrocious.
It's so bad.
What I call, not a technical term, but we call a smush gasket.
Yeah.
Like it was
It's like a metal graham cracker, dude. They're awful.
Thank you. Oh my God.
So
I'm gonna
bad.
quote you. Thank you. If you don't mind, I'm going to steal that now. A metal graham cracker. That's perfect. That's the most
I've
most
definitely
beautiful analogy of it.
I've
That's perfect.
definitely scraped a lot of, square inches
Huh?
of that crap off of
They're horrible.
blocks.
They're horrible.
So
They're
bad.
never good. Even on exhaust, they don't work. Okay,
Not
that
at
should
all,
tell you
dude.
something. And that's where you look at a company like Overtake who has their multi-layer steel exhaust
Mhm.
gaskets, and you're like, "Well, I'm not building a cylinder head. I don't need a multi-layer exhaust gasket." Yeah,
Do you
the
wanna take it
F
off?
you do. Yeah, do you?
Yeah. Do you want it to
Yeah,
Yeah.
seal?
do you want it to not leak? Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I can't tell you how
Yeah.
many times I've seen some eBay, Temu header not seal, and then we put some Overtake 7-layer MLS gasket on there because it's not just some like 2-layer. There's levels to this, as
Yeah.
we always joke.
Dude, I'm
That
gonna have
actually
to buy
seals it.
gaskets from them. So, talking to you guys, that's the first time I've heard of them. That is sick, which is not good that I'm
Well,
just now learning about them.
it's Justin Grimm, who used to be formerly, Grimspeed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same kind of ideology in a lot of ways,
Okay.
simply put.
That's rad.
Yeah.
So they're
Oh,
they're
thanks for
not
the
doing
tip.
the same
Yeah.
formulation. They're not doing the same
Okay.
thing. They're doing something that
Yeah.
actually is an improvement. It's like when an aftermarket comes out with a Vitron, or Viton O-ring, it's
Mhm.
better than the
Yeah.
factory rubber. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, man. I wanted to start trying to close up here.
Let's go. I know it's late where you're at, so thanks for staying up.
So my last question for you before we talk about canola oil is what's next for the Dirt Subies podcast, and what do you have planned? What's the trajectory? Any events that you plan on like going to, like repping the podcast? Like what do you have going on?
I know this sounds really bad, but I have zero plans. Just like the way that I do the show every 2 weeks. No plans whatsoever.
That's awesome.
No, dude, I just want to keep bringing, not to sound bad, but I just want to keep bringing like no name people on that have never shared outside of like their Instagram stories. Like that's my favorite thing. As much as I'd love to have, Bucky on the show or like Rhiannon Gelsomino and all these people that are big in the industry, dude, I love talking to people where it's like, hey, this is just some dude with like 30 followers who lives in Alabama and beats the dog piss out of his Subaru in the rocks. Like that's
Hell
who I
yeah.
want to talk to. Or the dude who built. I talked to a guy. His name's Subi Raptor on Instagram. Man, he built his SG Forester on like some super cheap budget. That's the kind of stuff I love doing because it's
Yeah.
more relatable to the average person. So I just want to keep helping people, man. Like that's my jam.
100%.
Yeah.
But I will say real quick though, I do want to have more people on the show too, like you guys that actually work on these cars or have worked on them, to bring more like technical expertise to give
Yeah.
people some some real scientific backing for some of the different things that when it comes to Subarus, they're finicky little things.
Yeah. I am a huge proponent of people who like have a story to tell, and like they're just not social media people, or they're just not on Facebook, or they're just
Yeah,
at the
dude.
meets, like I just feel like there's a lot of that, especially in the car community. There's people who just like cars and they just don't kind of do this, There's
Yeah.
people I've invited on podcasts that they're just like, I don't do podcasts. Like that's just what it is,
I was one of those.
in the
Me
spirit
too.
of this, I have to show you guys something that I saw today
All right, let's go.
that it's like burned into in terms of finding somebody small. I thought this was hilarious. There's this guy called the Wizard who, this is like totally unrelated, called the Wizard, and his whole thing is that he wakes up every morning and he records himself eating or drinking something ridiculous. And like whether he's mixing Coke and root beer and giving a review, or he's drinking Coke and hot sauce mixed together just to see what happens. This guy has 500,000 subscribers, and he has a silver play button from YouTube, and he's recording off of what looks like an MP3 player.
That's so
Like
sick.
I just don't understand. But
It's
like,
real.
dude, like it's real. And dude, this is the I can't. I've been
That's
laughing
tight.
I've been laughing every time I open this stuff up. Like, I can't. It's like,
I love how he addresses YouTube. Hello, YouTube.
dude, this is it. He just does this every day. This is his whole deal. I
Every
just
day?
like
See,
every
that's why
day.
it's consistency.
But like,
Yes.
there's people in the comments that are like, "Yes, Mr. Wizard, we love you. Thank you, Wizard." We all say, Sa- I love this. Simply groundbreaking. Like, I just like love the internet, dude, because you can find pockets of weird stuff like this,
I'm a
and people
fan.
love it.
I'm a huge fan.
My favorite comment on all these weird videos recently has been AI could never. And it's true. AI could never come up with this. This is like its own little weird corner of the internet. And people rally around real stuff. Like
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel
to
like
one point you said earlier, Ben, if everyone wants to have in some ideology Travis Pastrana or Bucky Lassick on any given episode, but I think maybe maybe Travis planned this. He's 199 for a reason. He wants to make sure you've been doing it for
Pushing.
199 episodes before it makes sense.
I'm car number
yeah.
3.
Dave, don't worry. We're gonna get him on and we're gonna say it's 199. It's gonna be 200. Just totally fake him out.
And we're gonna totally ruin his streak, man.
Yeah.
Well, now he's never gonna come on if he's watching.
No. Travis, if you're listening, which you're not, I won't do
Right.
that to you. But yeah, man, I just I appreciate you coming on. This has been awesome. I love
Same.
when we have a guest that comes on and it's just so easy. Like I feel like we could talk for hours. Like, dude, I think when Raph was on, like we got off at like 2 a.m. I literally
Really?
I was like
Yeah.
late to work the next day. Like
That's what I said. My camera overheated.
Dude, Raph is a homie. He's a good dude. We've become good friends in the last, however many months, but yeah, I love that guy. I thought he was going to be offended that I started a podcast, but
well, it was funny when we were recording, he sent you, I think, the review that we got, or he was texting you about it. We had a review.
He did.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
And I was laughing because we were talking about it, and the review says that there's only one Subaru podcast that has like 6 episodes. And I know what he's talking about because when you search Subaru on Apple Podcasts, there's only one show that comes up, and it's like this one podcast that only has 6 episodes. I don't know what's up with their algorithm or like how you search on there, but it's just not there.
What do you remember the name of it? Because I saw that podcast when I was trying to figure out whether or not I should do one. I wonder if they got a cease and desist. Maybe if they use the name Subaru in their title, they probably got a cease and desist.
So it's called Subaru Only Podcast.
Oh yeah, they got a cease and desist for sure, dude. But that's why it shows up.
But they were saying that in the
they don't play. They don't play at all.
Yeah. So that's like I'm like very scared of the whole Facebook group thing because of what it is. But like at the same time, it's like a public forum. So like I don't know if there's anything you can really I don't know. Like they could come for me, I guess, but it's like Subaru mechanics. So like I don't know. That's why with the podcast I named it The Wave, because I was a little bit like, I need to get away from this altogether. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
So.
well, if when I was looking up podcasts, your guys' podcast showed up when I was trying to figure out like, what should I name this thing? Are there other podcasts out there? Like if I name it something, is it going to be too similar? No, you guys popped up. I thought the name was sick because I'm fully aware of the Subaru Wave.
Yeah, and I thought it was great, and I put like by Subaru Mechanics on the bottom, so like it's not really the name of the show, it's just like whatever. But yeah, I found that like when we had Raph on, I searched up Subaru podcasts, and it was like our shows were showing up at the top of the list. It was your show, my show, and Dave's show, or whatever. It was like all 3 of us,
Okay.
So it was like perfect. So I was like, yeah, hell yeah. Like, we're the top. Dave, we've made it. We're on the top of the list.
I have to say off the record, we can edit around this, but is who owns a Subaru shop here got a cease and desist from Subaru because his name had Subi in it.
Dude.
Subi. And they said, we've trademarked the name Subi, Subi Fest, all these things. And so you're in copyright infringement on the Subaru infraction. We're really nice. We're not going to come for money. We're not asking for money. We just need you to change your name, and we're going to give you a reasonable timeline to change your name.
Well, they came after
you, Subi. And guess what? Here's the irony. We have Subi Doctor, who's actually running a rally team that Subaru endorses. We have Subi Recycler out here. We have Suba Motive, We have see where I'm going with this?
Well, they
And they're
made
the only one that got a bad letter recently. We're all questioning. I know all these owners. We're all basically sitting back on, we're waiting for our letter. I hate to say it,
right.
we're waiting for our letter to change our name. We have to. Subi Doctor is no longer Subi Doctor. You can't call it Subi Doctor because Subi is trademarked by Subaru. And unless you're good friends with them, but humbly, Subi Doctor is also in the ARA. So you know what? They might be okay because they're good friends with Subaru. So Subaru said, you know what, grandfathered, you're okay. But everybody else,
Can I be grandfathered?
nope.
These
You see what I'm
knees, I
saying?
might as well be a grandfather.
Unless
But
you're a good enough friend with Subi and You podcast, no offense, not
Dave.
knocking Raphael. He's getting benefits from Subaru. They're working with him.
You know, Dave, if they come for you, you can just say it's a hate crime against Koreans.
yes,
You just
play. You gotta
Yeah.
play
I'll
their
play the
game
race
with them.
game.
Well, they made Subi
But
Works
it's
change their
interesting
name.
that Raphael's but it's interesting that Raphael's promoting Subaru gear.com. I think Subaru's giving him a grace card.
Yeah, they haven't hit me yet, so
Even though they could.
yeah.
I think they actively endorse him. So I think that
Yes.
like they wouldn't really do that.
Same
know,
with Flatiron Subaru.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know where the gray area is. I guess it's just if they
It's if they
decide
like
that you're a
you.
problem. Yeah.
Right.
Vermont sports car, you're cool.
And were you gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say they Subi Works in Murrieta, California, that makes the Porsche axle conversions for Subarus. Chris, he's had that business forever, but he had to change the name like a year and a half ago.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So they're
dude.
coming. If for anyone, and this is probably not, we won't put this in the podcast, but there's a firm in New York that's coming after everybody. For anyone.
I wonder if it's a business. I wonder if that has more to do with
Subaru
it.
basically hired a company in New York, a law firm said, go after anyone that at copyright infringes our name. And I think that's what's happening is they're going across the entire country and going, you have Subaru, Subi, Suba thing, Subi, Suba woo, Suba blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
You're copyright infringing on us. We have all those trademarked.
Even if the
Subaru
stars are close. If the stars
Yes,
are
I've heard
close,
that.
they'll get you for
We
that
moved our
too.
stars and our logo, but guess what? You could still say there's 6 stars. That's close.
Yeah.
6 stars. That's Subaru. 6 stars.
Like you guys
can't do that anymore.
trademarked the Pleiades. Are you what? Like what?
No, we moved the Pleiades. We rearranged ours.
Yeah.
Ours are not in the same order.
It's crazy though
We
that they can trademark
We
that.
don't even have 2 big stars
Yeah.
and 4 small stars.
Yeah.
But
No, like we
have
own the
3 big stars
constellations.
and 3 small stars. But guess what? They could technically claim there's 6 stars in there. That's copyright
about
infringement.
Think about this, Ben. Some guy who works at Subaru gets to walk outside and say, hey, see that right there?
We own it.
I own that. I own that. Nobody can do that. That's me. I do that.
Yeah,
Unless
dude.
I say they're cool.
Yeah.
Vermont sports
Yeah.
car, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So you wanna go up there and
Subi
mix all those
speed?
stars
Yeah.
around?
Cool.
You could do whatever you want. But like that, I own that. That's
Yeah.
me.
Dude, it's so wild. Yeah, the corporate world is crazy, man. The heck?
Yeah.
If you're flat out in
well-
a Subaru, you're okay.
We'll see if Subaru Mechanics LLC gets a
Right?
gets an
Oh, do you guys
email.
it's technically incorporated? That's cool. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys
They're
able
gonna
to monetize the
Well,
group?
I have a trademark filed for here in Colorado, so
Okay.
for Simply Subarus. But if Subaru corporate came after me, I don't have the lawyers.
Right? They could just tie you up
I
in
don't
court
think
for
the
10
lawyers.
years and bleed you dry.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
joke's on them. I'll go to court
Yeah, right.
broke and I'll present myself and I will present the most confusing case they've ever heard and I'll tie them up for 30 years. I
Let's
don't care.
go, dude.
Chewbacca defense.
Yeah.
I
They'll be
love it.
This is South Park Chewbacca defense. It
the
doesn't make
judge
any
would be
sense.
like, does the defendant have anything to say? And I'll be like, I've had my milk today. And he'll be like,
What?
what? I'll be like, yep.
Chewbacca.
Just throw them off.
That doesn't
Heck
make
yeah.
sense.
I'm on board with this plan.
Yeah. Does the sun rise on the moon? Does judge is just like, can the defendant say anything else? Do you have a lawyer? I'll appoint you one for free. Like, no.
Yeah, let's do this.
I'm
I
sorry
am
if
the
I pulled
king.
this off the rails, Pat.
It's all right. I'm enjoying this.
Heck yeah.
So, back to closing this out from a half hour ago. So if you've seen any of our episodes, Dave is running the Super Baja on canola oil. Dave is successfully doing that. And we are running it to 3,000 miles, and then we're going to do an oil change. The question is, for you, do you think it's going to blow up before 3,000 miles? And then also, if it makes it to 3,000 miles, what other fluid do you think we should put in it? Our top hits right now are baby oil, vegetable oil. I think, what else? We had a couple other options. But yeah, anyways, whatever you're thinking.
Are you trying to blow it up, or just you don't care if it
already
blows
have
up?
another spare engine that's been
Sick.
taking up space in our shed out back of the shop. Not telling anyone to go out back there and take our engine out of our shed, but if I go back in there multiple times in any given week and I literally have stubbed my toe on that engine so many times, so I'm kind of tired of that engine sitting there. And that's where kind of the idea got formulated late night between me and Patrick was like, well,
Yeah.
how could we kill a Baja engine when I already have another engine? What if we put canola oil in it? And we're as of today, we are 10 miles exactly away from 1,000 miles in. No knocking, no smoke. We have put in about, I think, a quart of oil in the 1,000 miles, to be fair. It's consuming a little bit, but no leaking externally. The engine has no external leaks, and it's no knocking. It's running strong. It does, for anyone who wants to know, it does smell exactly like McDonald's French fries. It smells amazing. And the last point is, it's ironic that we literally just 2 weeks ago got our vehicle registration renewal in the mail, and it says a test required. So I sent one of the guys in the shop. I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm waiting for a car to come in." I was like, "Well, when's the car coming in?" He's like, "Well, like 20, 30 minutes." I was like, "Hey, take the Baja down to we live right now. Our shop's right down the street from the emissions shop. So we took it down the road and got it emissions tested today. It passed, when I say with flying colors, it anywhere between 3 times below the limits on every metric on the 5-gas analyzer. Our Baja is running clean.
I think it's gonna absolutely make it to 3K, 100%. Like, I'd put money on that.
Yeah. I couldn't stop laughing before because I just had this visual of like all of the people listening just bum rushing Dave's shed for this free engine. He's like,
Don't take our
Please.
engine. Hey, I'll add, our shed's alarmed. Okay. If anyone wants to test it, it is tied into our alarm system. So don't try this. And if anyone wants to know, I won't give some specifics, but I'm about 7 minutes away from the shop if I have to be there. So if you think you're fast enough, try me.
if anybody successfully steals Dave's engine, I'll pay your bail.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So Ben, thank you for coming on. We appreciate you being here. And we will definitely have you back on again very soon.
That would be
I'm
sick.
hoping to do like a group podcast with you and me, Dave and Raph, and we'll be able to my idea is that we'll all bring a topic and we'll get to kind of like hash out some stuff, which would be kind of fun.
That would be super sick.
Yeah. So, hey man, hopefully we'll see you at an ARA event or something. We'll run into each other somewhere. And we definitely look forward to hanging with you again.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Thanks. Catch you later.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the show. We appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it. It really helps us grow and keep bringing you more. Catch you in the next one.